The Bond Fire. Narrator. Chapter 1. Now. My friend, tell me in details about how everything happened. Me, okay, but you must not interrupt me. 2 years before. How we met. One freezing morning, 8 a.m., my phone rang early enough to get off my track for the whole day, or at least it was what I thought of. I answered the phone. It turned out it was my photo shoot agent. He said that a magazine wants to interview me, on success and how I made it, and take several pictures of me with other people. I said, fine, I will call you later, but tell them I said yes.
Oh, I forgot to tell you that I am a famous tennis player who is retired because of a knee injury.
After the phone call, I got up and turned my TV on to listen to some music, as I always do before and after bed. The first song that came out on the screen was Katy Perry's Hot and Cold, so I had some moves which were necessary to wake me up a bit. As I was dancing, I was making a coffee and reading the news on my phone. By news I mean what is new in the field of music, movies, sports, etc. I like my coffee cold and sweet enough, so I let it chill a bit, until I put on my clothes. Now it was already 10 a.m. My plan for the day was to go to buy some groceries, eat, and walk a bit, seeing my friends included. As I was getting out of my apartment, my phone rang again. Yes, you guessed it. It was my agent again. Now he informed me about the details of the event that I was going to have later in the day. It was for the magazine, Shape Up. The time of the shooting would be 8 p.m. There will be some private questions as well, like who are you dating, who is the person you are most bonded with, etc. I was warned by my agent. I said, all right, I will be there. This is how all your plans can change with one phone call only. But it seemed all right, because I have never been interviewed by a magazine in Norway. I wasn't even staying there for longer period but 3 months, so let's do this, I thought. Anyway, I got to the grocery store, got everything I needed and went home. I decided to multitask, and while I was eating, I was scrolling on my phone. Suddenly, I read the topic such as,
Is this the Norway's hottest woman firefighter or maybe in the whole world?
Immediately caught my eye. I decided to read it and to see what it was about. Okay. I mean, it is pretty clear from the topic, but, you know. So, I'm looking at the pictures and I'm like, damn, this woman is looking good, so good, okay. I will stop it. However, I'm not interested in looks, but in brains. So, I started reading about what is she doing every time when she is on duty, how many hours a week does work, how old is she, what got her into this man's world job, he age, and so on. I realized we were the same age, at the time 30. I remember my thought was,
Oh, this woman can't be any better, lucky would be the guy whom she marries.
However, I already ate, and now I was going to meet my friends and have a walk. I called my friend, Siri, so that she can tell me the directions where I'm going to go, you know, like iPhone Siri. Nah, just kidding. She was the woman in whose apartment I was staying in. It is hard to describe her, because Norwegians as people all look kind of the same to me. Ginger hair, tall, bright blue eyes, and pride of the cold weather, basically, everything I am not, except the tall part. I stand tall at 6 feet 4 inches, or that is 193 centimeters. I know what your thought is, you can call the firemen in Macedonia, the number 193, well, maybe you should. So, I met this woman, we had a coffee, and meanwhile I asked her how to prepare for the interview, how to act, etc. After some time, we came to a conclusion that I should act naturally and go with the flow. It was now time for lunch, 3 p.m., so we said goodbye and both went home. I prepared some French fries, which I combined with ketchup and sat to eat. Although, I didn't want to admit, during all this time I was thinking of this woman I saw in the magazine online. I ate, did the dishes and went to bed, in order to look fresh and rested for the night. Anyway, after 2 hours of a good sleep, I woke up at 6 p.m. and called my agent to come and pick me up at 7. In the meantime, I had some chocolate and was listening to music, just waiting for the clock to strike 7 and get out. I just dressed up, and the doorbell rang. My agent was at the door. I grabbed the money, the phone and the apartment keys and left. It was around 20 minutes by car, to the place we were going to shoot. I was a bit concerned, because I do not speak or understand any Norwegian. When we got there, all the people spoke English, including the camera people. Which was great, I didn't need a translator. My interviewer, Lisa, introduced her and gave me some questions before we started with the interview, so that I won't be surprised when she asks. Part of the interview was to be audio, and part written. I read the questions, and in between them there was a question about my sexuality, and who is my current partner. Sports and career questions were as well included. I was ready, so we sat down and did the interview in about 30 minutes, with small breaks in between. It was a great experience for me, because the interviews are usually stressful and intense, but this was pretty cool and relaxing. I looked at the clock and it was already 8:15 p.m. Lisa told me that we did the interview before everyone comes, so that I wouldn't feel crowded. I really appreciated it. She also notified me that few other people were coming and we could finally do the photo shoot and we are done. I said fine, I will go down in the cafeteria to grab some juice and refresh, and when everything is set up to call me upstairs. I went downstairs and ordered a peach juice, which is my favorite flavor, and sat down. It was a great bar and everything was painted in green, well, almost everything, except the people. Chapter 2. As I was looking in my phone, I heard some footsteps coming down the stairs, so I put my phone down, thinking it was a call for me to go upstairs. Magical enough, it was that woman that was in my head all day, the woman from the magazine, the firefighter. I couldn't believe my eyes. I almost had a heart attack, but wouldn't be a problem because she is also a CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, and first aid trainee. I read it in the magazine. I see her going down the stairs as if she owns the place. She looked like a woman from another planet. Her silky, long, brown hair all the way to her abs, those striking dark blue deep eyes, that body and the way carried herself, got me chills and few butterflies in the stomach. I have never seen such beauty in my life. She was dressed in gray leggings, pink tank top and gray, bluish sneakers. Oh, I forgot to mention that is also a personal trainer, which explains everything. As she was walking down the bar, she glanced my way. I saw that, but I acted as if nothing happened. I put my poker face on, but on the inside, I felt all the volcanoes on the planet Earth. I heard when she said to the bartender, "A smoothie." She took it and was coming at my table. As confident as she is, said,
"I admire your bravery, and everything you did so far. Thank you for everything. I am a big fan of yours."
In my mind I was like,
You do way more than I could ever do, during my career on and off the court. You know me?
but acted cool instead. I said,
Thank you. You can join me if you want.
Sure, I would love to. My name is Gunn.
Nice to meet you. I'm Sarah, but you already know that.
I said. We both laughed.
So, how is life after the tennis? Is it boring? Are you getting used to it? Sorry, I'm probably asking way too much questions.
Oh, don't bother yourself, I like being asked questions, actually. Life is fine. I have much more free time now. I also have time for other stuff that I wasn't doing before.
Sounds cool. Stuff like, what if it's not a secret?
Well, as you might know, I hurt my left knee on practice and I had to quit because of that. Now that I'm healed, I can't get back on the court, because I quit. It took me months to recover, but I can give private tennis lessons as an assistant of my couch. The doctor said I'm doing well, but not to lose my muscles and the bone structure. It was recommended to hike. So, I came in Norway to do therapy and to rest, but today this happened. I'm so glad it happened.
I like hiking as well. I do it every time I'm free from work. It is probably a surprise to be called by a magazine here, because they don't put foreigners in our magazines.
Yes. I would love you to come with me. You know the right places here, considering your job as a firefighter. Well, yes, it is surprise, definitely. But, I'm mostly surprised by seeing you here. I'm glad it happened. If it didn't happen here, I would have probably contacted you in any other way possible.
Basically, I invited myself.
Ha ha ha. Wow.
I'm impressed that you know me. I would have been grateful if you called.
I'm glad you invited yourself. Otherwise, I would have had to look for the right words to invite you. Ha ha ha. What if I told you that I read this morning about you in an online magazine, and it set me on fire?
Short silence.
If you allow me, I would like to invite you for a hike on Saturday. Of course, if you are free. I will be going with my friend Siri and her friend Louisa.
I'm free indeed. I will come for sure.
Great. But until then, I was wondering if you have some spare time to go on coffee where maybe you can explain in details to me how all that hiking works and stuff.
I think I have time on Wednesday. So, see you at 6 p.m.?
Yes, that will work.
Lisa came downstairs to tell us that we are ready for shooting. I realized it was almost 9 p.m. We were sent to the makeup room, to get us prepared for the pictures and to dress up. Me, Gunn and 4 other girls, we ready for the photo shoot, so we got out of the room and went to the room of the set. It was a huge room, with green canvas on a huge wall. I thought we were going to film a video, because that was a view like the one in the sci-fi movies, but then I recalled that there were 2 skiers in the room, Anna and Tanya. Briefly on the people that were going to shoot with me: a retired tennis player, Gunn a firefighter, personal trainer, ambassador for Ambassador 4, Mitnorj NJE Get Inspired, Anna and Tanya skiers who are at the beginning of their careers, Louisa a police officer who was promoted to lieutenant, and Lindsay a snowboarder, who had the highest scores in a recent competition for snowboarding. We got pretty well along each other, as they say, teamwork makes the dream work. So, it was. The photo shooting was over, after almost an hour, so we all went to the changing room to take about makeup and put on our clothes. When we got back in the room, together with the photographer, we went through lots of pictures, in order to choose which ones were going to go on the magazine's cover. That was also a lot of fun. Although, I felt a bit like a black sheep, because they were all still at the peak of their careers and I wasn't, I still had a great time. We hanged out, like a bonding time, for a bit and shared our experiences on life and career, so for me it was a step further in my spiritual area. Now, already 10 p.m., it was time to go home. I found out that Gunn came with a taxi, so I offered to take her home, of course with my agent, because I wasn't allowed to drive in another country, and she accepted it. As we were driving, we passed over my apartment. Now she knows where I live, so she said.
Oh, this is a very good neighborhood. I lived here 5 years ago. It is close to everything, and very reachable. Now I live in Asker. It is quiet, and close to my job.
So, you came all the way from Asker to Oslo just for the photo shoot? Wow.
I had 2 days off, so I decided to come as soon as my shift ended, and settle here for as little time as I have. I'm staying only 4 blocks from here, down the same street. You can't miss it. It's one-way street. Alright, we are here. Thanks for the ride. Now you know where I'm staying, so you can come and visit me. I don't have any plans for tomorrow. Give me your phone. Now, this is my number.
She rung from mine to her phone and wrote my number down. Before I said anything, she said.
Don't worry, I didn't forget about Wednesday. I will come.
Okay, then. I sure will give you a call. Thanks for your number. See you, have a good night and sleep tight.
Sure, you too.
So, it was. My agent drove me home and as I was getting out of the car, he said, "Hey, I can see your face smiling, from ear to the other. It's not my business, but this girl swooped you off your feet, didn't she?"
Well, you know what, Bjorn, I see that your sight is great. You miss nothing, huh? Good for you. Indeed, man. This woman is everything I have dreamt about.
So, I parted with Bjorn. Went immediately in the building, because the nights can reach a temperature of about 10 degrees Celsius and that is killing me. I can't stand cold weather, although I love the winter and the snow. I entered in my apartment, turned on the lights and the heating and went to the bathroom to take a hot shower, along with some music in the background from the living room. While I was showering, one thought crossed my mind, so, I said to myself, well, let's write a song, now since I have an inspiration to write. Got out of the bathroom, cleaned all the stuff, dressed up, and prepared to eat. It was more like a snack than dinner. I ate a croissant, with a glass of hot milk. Sat by my keyboard. I like to travel with my keyboard, if it's going to take longer than 2 weeks, where I'm staying at, and started playing a melody. A melody, which lyrics were known and recognized in the world, Hooverphonic, Mad About You. After one round played, I decided to base my song on this melody. It is very sensual, sincere, love song, that I personally enjoy listening and playing. Desde esa noche, since that night, was the topic of my song. When I write lyrics, I like to write in Spanish. I knew that, since that night something special was going to happen, so it's like I predicted the plot from then on. You are probably wondering, why was I writing on Spanish, when she is from Norway? To this question, there is only one answer. Because, later I will have to translate it to her, and that only grants me more time with her. Simple as that. Now, I looked at the clock. It was already midnight, and since I was a little bit tired and decided to go to sleep. I usually go to bed at 2 a.m., but it was a big day. Put my pajamas on and went to bed. It never felt so comfortable and cozy before. I recall, my last thoughts were about Gun, before closing my eyes and finally falling asleep. Chapter 3. November 16th. The sun was tired from wandering around in the sky, so it decided to rest in my room, through my window, a wonderful way to wake up, indeed. Opened my eyes, stretched and first thought was Gun. Took my phone to see what's new, opened it and boom. There it was. You have a message. It was from Gun.
Hugs and kisses on your way. Waking you up to start your day.
Good morning.
If this isn't a message you want to wake up until the rest of your life, I don't know what it is. It didn't just brighten my day and brought a smile and joy on my face, but it got me thinking that if she wrote this message to me, it means that she thought of me when you woke up, too. My response was,
Meeting you was not the first day of the rest of my life, it was the first day of the best of my life. Good morning.
I got up, went to the bathroom to brush my teeth and wash my face. In the meantime, there was a message on my phone, again from Gun. As I was walking toward the kitchen, I grabbed my phone to read the message.
Do you want to seize the day with me?
In my mind, I was like, I would want to seize my life with you, not just the day. So, I answered.
Maybe.
I had a traditional German breakfast, which consists of toast, marmalade and honey, with a cup of peppermint tea. As I was scrolling down the Instagram page, I noticed a bouquet of red roses, which inspired me for my next move. It was 9 o'clock. Early, but just on time, for the stores to be open. In the past few days, I could not pass by down my street and not notice a small but stylish rose store. I put my clothes on and ran out of my apartment. I got to this store and told the lady to pick 15 of her most fresh roses. Meanwhile, I went to the chocolate store next to the roses store. I told this lady to give a fresh heart-shaped chocolate and to tie a blue ribbon on top of it. I got back to Rose's store and they were ready. I asked the lady to call a taxi on the address we were on. She said,
Since you are a real romantic, it will be my pleasure to participate in your gift to the lucky lady.
Moments after, the taxi came. I gave the driver the address to Gun's apartment and told him to give the gifts to her personally. So it was. I turned back to the lady and asked for 1 red rose. She packed it as if it was for a gift. I paid and took the rose. She was looking at me confused. I gave the rose back to her and said,
This is from a respect and a big thank you for what you did to me. I hope your day will be fulfilled with happiness and joy.
She thanked me, blessed me, and I left. I went home. I got in my apartment, put some music on and sat down. Opened my phone and was thinking what message to write to Gun, but not to be too straightforward, not to scare her. So I wrote a poem.
My love is like a red, red rose. Robert Burns. After waking up, I thought of you. Said, send her flowers, make her day, too. The ribbon is blue. It reminds me of you. The chocolate is sweet. As today we shall meet. Around midday. I will come your way. To one rose. From one thorn.
I was sweating, my heart was pumping fast, don't know what was happening. After 15 minutes, a message appeared on my phone.
This is the sweetest thing that someone has ever done for me. By the way, I didn't know that you were such a gifted poet.
Wow.
This is amazing. Thank you. The roses are beautiful and have the strongest scent a fresh rose can ever have. So sweet of you.
I'm glad you liked it. I like to express what I feel through my poems. It has always been like that. I believe not as sweet as the chocolate. Ha ha ha.
We shall check that out further on. See you at midday.
I'm looking forward to it.
I looked at the clock, it was 11:15 a.m., so I went to my room to dress up. I put my favorite shirt and jeans on, a pair of Timberland boots and a dark blue coat. A black beanie was also part of my style, a fossil watch and my sunglasses as part of my accessories. I got out of my apartment and started walking. Yes, it was sunny, but cold. I got to third block down the street, when my phone beeped. I looked and it was a message from Gun.
Are you rolling down the street? When shall we meet?
I decided not to write anything, yet. What I noticed is that the message she wrote was in my writing style, which is a great sign. I started walking faster, and in 4 minutes I was around her block. I stopped now, to write a message.
Out of the window you may now look. To be here 20 minutes it took. The second chapter of this book is about to be cooked.
She glanced from the window, as I gave the instructions. Second after, I saw her coming down the stairs. She was dressed in black, cozy jeans, combined with white sweater around the neck, red dots, which I could see below the coat, and black, ankle, Timberland boots. Of course, the accessories such as her waterproof watch, sunglasses, and a beanie which was as the color of her sweater. When she got outside, I could notice that long, silky hair was braided in the longest braid I have ever seen so far. She looked mesmerizing. I could not help but give her compliments.
Stylish and gorgeous, as always. Your clothes with your dark, blue eyes is a killer combination.
Thanks a lot. Nothing less on you as well.
Thanks. I'm really trying.
After few seconds of admiration, was it time to decide our next location. So, I asked her what is the best place we can go to, somewhere we can have fun, but at the same time have a conversation. Just not somewhere too crowded. Her response was,
I sure do know such place.
Come on.
This way. I know you will ask where, but it's a surprise. Trust me.
I trust you with my life, to be honest.
I appreciate it. Thanks. But there's no need to put your life in danger by any means, so you are safe.
Gun decided that we can walk on the streets of one special location. The street's name was Johan Dybwad's Plass 1, 0161 Oslo, Norway. I could not believe my eyes, for the second time in 2 days. We were standing in front of the National Theatre of Oslo. She briefly explained, the National Theatre in Oslo is one of Norway's largest and most prominent venues for performance of dramatic arts. If you like dramatic arts we can come and watch one day. I agreed. We kept on walking. After almost a kilometer, which we passed for like 15 minutes via Henrik Ibsen's gate, we found ourselves in front the Soli bowling. As the name says, it was a bowling alley. It was huge, 11-lane bowling alley, also offering billiards and air hockey, with LED lighting, for some sessions. So, I was thinking in myself. It comes pretty handy that I have already some experience in bowling as a child, not with real equipment, but still, it counts.
I know that you have retired because of your knee injury, but some bowling will do no harm to you. I promise. Although I am not an expert, I am the one who wins when I play with my friends. Not that I brag about it.
Hakuna Matata, no worries. It has a ball, although, this one weighs 5 kilos, still is a ball, and I have been around bowls pretty much my whole life and yes, using hands. I think I can handle it. Let's see who is better. Competition?
Indeed. Let's do this.
We went to the changing room. Left our clothes and put on the bowling shoes. Mine were black and white, and Gunn's were black and red. Ready as such, we stepped onto the floor, took one ball each and prepared for the first move. Our task was to knock 10 pins at the end of the lane. The maximum score is 300, which is achieved by getting 12 strikes in a row. In case of a player scoring a strike, he gets 10 points for the knocked down pins, plus whatever is scored in the next 2 balls as bonus point. And so, the game began. We were competing on, and almost an hour later, the result was even, 202 versus 202. We had one more round to complete. The final result was 215-202. Gunn won. I congratulated her and we went in the changing room to change.
I know that you let me win. Why?
If the person I care about is happy, I'm happy.
We both gave each other a shy smile and she blushed.
There is a day bar place behind this alley. Do you want to go and drink some tea?
I would love to. It won't harm me. Sure.
We got to the back of the building and sat down. When the waiter came, I ordered a peppermint tea and he ordered a chamomile tea with our favorite flavors. After a slightly awkward pause, Gunn.
You can really do anything. I am impressed. That was a great bowling game out there.
Well, as a sportsman/woman, I love to compete, but it's not that I can do anything. Let's just say that I can't play handball. I am very bad at it. That was my goal, to impress a woman like yourself, which I believe many have failed in that attempt. Thanks.
I bet you can do it. You just don't want to give much from yourself. There were some attempts, yes. And true. Many of them unsuccessful. Sure.
What makes you bet on me? That I can play, but I don't want to?
You seem very confident. Not less, not much. Just about enough. Skillful too. So, I don't see the problem. What I do know is that you are used to play singles all the time, and I suppose you were never really in a team game, so you might not know how to handle it. You're doing great just on your own. I can tell you that.
It seems like you know me much better than I know myself.
Believe it or not, I feel like I have known you all my life, and I feel very connected to you.
I feel you. I feel the same. We simply get each other. It's like what you think I say, and we are finishing each other's
sentences. Yes, I know.
After a few seconds pause, she said.
So, I see you like hiking. Because of the level of endurance that my job requires, I hike 3 days in a week, combined with lots of weightlifting and cardio. I have to be at the highest level while on duty, so I must work on my days off.
I do like hiking. I can't really run because of my knees, but I like long walks or just being in the nature and connecting with it. Oh, I see. But, how do you find time among all the things you do?
I love nature too. As a firefighter, my schedule is, I work 1 day, and I have 2 days off. Also, in Norway we work 37-38 hours per week, so it makes it easier to find free time.
I see. That's great.
After another round of few small chit-chats, we have decided that we want to eat. I looked at my watch, it was already 3 p.m. Because this was a coffee/tea bar, we could not take anything to eat, and there was a break of an hour in the local lunch restaurants, but we were really hungry. So, I said.
It seems like until 4 o'clock we are not going to have any lunch nearby. Since my apartment and on our way back home, what do you say we go there and make something to eat? On our way we can buy some stuff from the store.
It seems like great and reasonable idea, because I am really hungry.
Great. Let's go then.
We got outside. There was the sunset, in a typical November afternoon, and we could notice that it was getting cold. Despite the fact that it was getting cold, we have decided to walk back home. On our way we have stopped to get some vegetables from the store. After 15 minutes, we have reached the final destination, my apartment. We got inside, I turned on the lights, the heating, and some fun music. It was Sting's "Englishman in New York," as an intro song. So, I had to joke.
During my time spent and what is about to come, I feel exactly like an Englishman in New York. Everything is new for me here and I like it, but it's kind of weird. I was used to warm weather, and now my body doesn't know what to do. Ha ha ha.
Well, the first week, sure it is weird, but then you'll get used to it. I hope you'll like it even more in the next few weeks.
Indeed. Well, not I have a reason more to like it better, despite the weather condition I'm not used on. It is a woman that I have met last night. She is incredible and makes it great company, fun and pure joy to be around her.
I winked with my left eye. She blushed and said,
I could never in a million years expect to see such a wonderful person like you, despite the fact that you are famous. You seem pretty much unreal to me, so grounded, so nice, so respectful, so kind.
Well, it is all due to my childhood. I have great parents who have taught me that everyone counts. Because you are not famous, which doesn't determine what kind of person you are, doesn't mean that you are less person than I am, or that should treat you without respect. We are all equal, and everyone is successful in their own job or things they do. Let's look at your example. You are not famous, but you are a real-life hero. And that is my message to the world. Don't judge, because you have not walked in anyone's shoes.
I could not put it in a much better sentence. I can notice that you are an inspiration to the upcoming generations, and that makes you a great writer. Thank you for your doing.
I'm trying. I don't know if you smelled it or what kind of sorcery this is, but yes, I'm writing a book. And you know what? People like you deserve to have their own chapter in my book, so I will make you I include you in it.
How sweet of you. Thanks.
Meanwhile, we have taken the vegetables out of the bags, so it was cooking time.
I see you have a piano keyboard here. Do you play it? What do you usually play?
Yes, it's my favorite thing to do. Do you want me to play few songs to you?
Sure, I would love to hear some. And don't worry about the cooking. You play, I will cook for both of us.
Yes, ma'am.
We have bought some frozen carrots, potatoes and tomatoes. Gun put some water on the stove and it heat a bit, in order to put the vegetables in later. The first song that came on my mind was "Feeling Good" by Nina Simone. I didn't want to scare her with my first choice, which would have been "Mad About You," but for sure it was next on my list.
You play it in such an artistic pace. I can see and feel that you love playing it. I can see the passion in your eyes and your form of being one with the keyboard. I like passionate people, and am really enjoying it.
Thanks. I really do love playing and listening to music. I have this love since I was a little child.
You must have had an awesome childhood, it seems like.
By this time, I have already stopped playing and paid attention to what was she saying.
Sure. I was in lots of school sketches, especially until the age of 14. I fell in love with the art of acting and the art of playing music. I consider myself an old-school musician. It is so, because I have always loved the classical music. Later, I discovered jazz and country, which I adore.
It can be noticed that you have so many talents. It's awesome.
Now I got up and set the table.
You know, I wasn't planning this, but if I was, I would have put on a cooler sheet for the table, some candles, to make it in my style, you know.
Are you kidding me? This is great. But I see there goes the romantic side of you again. You know, in the morning, you sent me roses and look at me now cooking for us in the afternoon. What else and how differently could we wish the day to pass?
You are right. It's perfect.
The dinner was ready. She sat down and while washing my hands before I sit, I asked her.
Would you like some red wine? My agent, Bjorn bought it for me. He didn't know I don't drink.
I may have a glass. So, you don't drink, interesting fact.
Yes, I'm drunk anyway.
We were both laughing. I poured the wine in a fancy way with a little bit of a spinning at the end, and noticed her reaction.
Masterpiece. You don't drink, but you sure have some skills about pouring. It seems like you know much about this.
Kind of. It's due to my teens, this time. We were making our own wine at home. We would just buy different sorts of grape and there it was. I learned that, if I pour the wine directly in the glass, would lose its original taste. The spinning I did at the end, it prevents the liquid from the bottle to squish some drops on the sheet, and because it's white, we don't want to do that, do we?
Again, impressive. Do you have any other tips for pouring alcohol in a glass?
Sure. Not that we made our own beer, but I have seen stuff. For the beer, it is important that the glass is up to a certain degree. For example, if you don't want much foam, you can lay the glass horizontally almost in the air and pour the beer. But, you wouldn't like to do this, because it's bad for your stomach. It will cause stomachache if you do so, because of the carbon dioxide that the beer contains. But if you want it to be professional like poured, you can do this. Take a glass and in an angle of 75 degrees pour the beer holding the bottle around 3 centimeters above the glass. To seem catchable for the eye, you can improvise, lifting the bottle up and down.
It seems like you really know everything. Each time, I am more and more impressed.
Impressed and tired, I would say. So much talking, let's eat.
I never get tired listening to someone who knows so much.
We started eating and it got quiet, so I put music on. My music choice this time was Beth Hart, genre, blues rocker, also, one of my favorite singers. That, sure, fulfilled the silence. The lunch time was over. Knowing that she would unfold the table, I offered to do it and to wash the dishes. She did make the lunch, so now was my turn to do something. We agreed on that. She washed her hands and sat down in the living room. In the meantime, I was doing the after-lunch cleaning process. She, on the other hand, went through my music playlist and was waiting for me to wash the dishes. As soon as I did it, she invited me to the living room. She pushed the play button, and a song started playing. The song was Beautiful Tango by Hindi Zara. The rhythm was so seductive, we couldn't say no to a dance. So sensitive, so tender, so sweet. My hands on her hips, her hands around my neck, we were swaying like 2 willow trees. As the song was coming to an end, we hugged. It lasted 4 minutes, but it felt like 4 seconds. As they say, time flies quickly, when you are with someone you like. She looked at her watch and said,
I can't believe I spent the most fun 5 hours of my life with someone I have only met last night.
I can say the same thing. I hope it was worth it, the whole day.
Sure it was. I would like to have as many days as this one, as much as possible.
The show must go on. We shall repeat it, I agree.
We will. All right, I should go now. I have to prepare and then go to sleep because I'm flying early tomorrow to ask her.
Sure. Let me take you home.
So it was. I accompanied her to her apartment and we parted.
I'm going to miss you. Promise me you will come back on Wednesday.
I will miss you more. I promise.
All right. Safe travels, and text me when you get there.
Thanks. I sure will.
With a kiss on the cheeks, the happiness came to an end. But, there's nothing to worry about. She will come back. I saw her from the window from her apartment. She waved and kissed the palm of her hand to send me a kiss. That was the last time I have seen her. So deep, so empty. I headed home. I ended up alone, again. But it wasn't all lost. Now I had a reason to live for. I felt so vivid, so relaxed, so joyful, yet sad, because she is leaving. I went home, watched a television for 3 hours, and went to bed. Chapter 4. The next morning, at 8 a.m., there was a message on my phone.
Hello from the other side. Will you join me on this ride? If you dial 110, you're on fire, and I'm your man. One did so. Now look at me go. P.S. I will text you later. Just wanted to check on you. From Fire Girl.
My response.
Be safe, please.
At that point, I got up, went to bathroom to wash my face and teeth. Once I was done, I went to the kitchen and prepared pretty much the same breakfast from the previous morning, the German breakfast. While I was eating, my phone rang. It was Gun. I answered the call, of course. She was wearing those famous firefighter clothes, with a bottle of oxygen, and was fully equipped with the gloves and everything. She said,
Hey there. Nice to see you.
Bon appétit.
Hey. Oh, it's like looking in the mirror, you know. I see you found your Halloween costume. Ha ha ha.
Haha, I must be ready always? Stay here, I will just jump out of this.
True. You've been born ready. Well, I'm going nowhere. I have been waiting for your call all night.
Yes, sorry about that. To apologize, here's a special in-depth look at my work equipment. How many people have the opportunity to see this? It doesn't happen every day.
I've seen people putting it on, but off. Yep, it's my first time. You look great in every outfit.
Well, I think nothing can surprise me about you anymore. Thanks.
I see you need approximately as much time for getting it off as for putting it on full equipment. Interesting.
Yes.
It's so heavy, but I got used to it. All right, that would be it for my undressing party. Haha, anyway, how are you?
by this time, I have finished my breakfast, and now I'm just drinking tea.
I've been better. I have nothing to do now. I don't have whom to send flowers to, so I'm kind of bored.
Oh, don't be disappointed. I will be there tomorrow night. I just give you space for gathering some money in the meantime.
I've got money on my mind. I can't wait.
All right, I have to go now. I will hear from you later.
I will be right here, waiting for your call. Stay safe.
So it was. I stayed at home. I looked at the window and I was not surprised. There was snow everywhere. It was a view like the ones from a postcard. Marvelous. I have never seen such good looking, covered in snow city. I saw 2 trucks cleaning the snow both ways. People were cleaning in front of their doors. Some kids were throwing themselves in the snow, made from their parents' shovels when they were getting rid of the snow in front of the door. Some were playing snowball fights, some were trying to ski, with their feet or sledges, on the sidewalk. Many of them, I guess, were waiting for the night, when it gets colder, so the snow will freeze, and they will use it wisely to skate. As in the movies, I used the opportunity to stare from the window, as they all do. I had put some music on, covered myself in a blanket, grabbed my cup of tea and continued having a blast, watching the kids play in the snow. I have witnessed some falls as well, but who is counting that, right? It was 10:30 a.m. There is a whole day in front of me. What possibly can I do? I have something crazy on my mind. I put on relaxing clothes, as I call them, jeans, sweater, boots, jacket, beanie and gloves, and went outside. This house was 15 meters from the apartment I lived in, so across the street, basically. I got outside of the building and went headed toward the kids, with a plan. I approached them and introduced myself. They introduced themselves, 6 kids, as well. We had a bond immediately. I said,
Guys, I have an awesome idea. Do you want to hear it?
Kids, yes, we sure do. Answered all 6 of them.
Alright, I'm going to need your help. Each one of us is going to be crucial in order for this to work out. Are you all in?
Kids, yes, we are all in.
Good, now listen. Brian, I've heard that you've got a big pool in your backyard. Is that true?
Brian confirmed, shaking his head up and down.
Good. The question is, can we all use your pool to pour water in and to freeze it, so that we can skate on it once it's frozen?
Brian, I guess, yes. My parents won't be mad about it. They want me to play hockey, anyway. Let's go. All the kids were happy. I could notice their little faces, smiling from one ear to the other, their heart filled with joy. So, we got there. Of course, I have first spoken to Brian's parents, and after their confirmation, we started with the preparation. We cleaned the leaves in the pool first, at least the ones that were visible, because the pool was already covered in snow, less than half. Now, Brian's dad turned the water on. While the water was pouring in the pool, the snow was melting, so that was very helpful. In the meantime, the kids and I had another task to do. We had to make hockey goals and sticks to hit the ball. Of course, we had to find a ball as well, because we didn't have a puck. Brian's dad had lent us his garage. With the wood we found, with his help, we made 2 squares and we used the rest of the wood to make sticks. Aesthetics, it would look like a hockey stick, and practical would be easy to maneuver and hit the ball, a tennis ball. By this time, the pool was filled with water, and almost ready. I say almost, because the water was in liquid and must be in ice. The best way to freeze water for short enough time is with the help of the salt. For this purpose, I went to a store nearby and bought 3 huge bags of salt. The pool was fully full, and that is because it would never freeze for a day, and if the ice is thick we could definitely not skate on it. Yes, ice would have helped too, but where to find that much ice? By the way, I have been probably only 3 times in my life on the ice. It was back in the US, in Madison, Wisconsin. I went there to visit my favorite hockey player Hillary Knight, who at the time played for Wisconsin Badgers as the team captain. There she showed off her talent and skills, by which I was amazed. I handled myself well on the ice, because as a kid I was rollerblading until the age of 13. I had great fun at the time. However, the knowledge I received there, it helped me prepare all of this now. We had to wait a little more than half hour, and then it would be ready and icy. As we had some time, I was eager to tell and brag to Gunn about what was I doing. I wrote a message.
I'm preparing to step on the ice. Although, I like the fire more. If you were here, would have been nice. Why aren't you? It hurts to the core.
Going to be there until tomorrow night. Until then, with fire I will fight. Need you more than yesterday, indeed. Never to be apart, 'cause you're all I need. With you only, like I said before. There's nothing I wouldn't do. Oh, dear, to get close to you. Velvet Rose, I measure every second. I need you, till the moon and far beyond.
I took many pictures, during and after the pool was ready, even some videos just to show her. Chapter 5. After 2 days, I was going to go and visit Gunn in her hometown of Asker. I prepared videos and photos of the hockey game day to show to her once I'm there. Got my suitcase and put inside all the things I thought were important for me to take to Asker. It was Monday, 10 p.m. as I got on the plane and flew to my destination. If everything went as planned, I was supposed to be there in about 3.5 hours, which would be Tuesday, 1:30 a.m., and until I get to the apartment around 3 the most to be in bed. It was as I planned, which was great, because I was tired and cold. ID didn't want to wake her up at such an early time, so I decided to surprise her tomorrow at her work, according to Google Maps and how she explained where it was. I usually sleep for 7 hours and that's enough for me, so the next morning I woke up around 10 a.m. and was so excited. Had some sandwich which took on the plane with me and a glass of water. I wrote a message to Gunn.
Yo, here I come, here I go.
No response. So, I turned on my location and wrote the address Fredtenveien 5, 1386 Asker, Norway and headed toward it. On my way, I got a message from Gunn.
Hey, I'm on my way to a burning house. I will talk to you later. Miss you.
My response was,
Stay safe. I'm in your neighborhood.
I kept going down the location on my phone and heard noises. I tried to ignore them, but it was impossible. It sounded like someone needed help and I can't turn that down. At first, I tried to hear where that noise was coming from. Once I did, I headed that way. It was 1 block away from where I was at the moment. Going there, I've noticed smoke coming my way and the people screaming on the street. Once I got there, it was devastating. I saw a small building with only 3 floors and it was on fire. One woman screamed, "Please! Help me! My baby is in there." She said this in English, otherwise I wouldn't understand. There was no time for questions, but actions, and I ran inside the building. I could not really see well from the smoke, but I heard a baby crying. I've noticed it was coming from the 2nd floor. I ran up the stairs carefully and started going from one door to another. This was due to the loudness of the fire and the burning furniture. I couldn't hear well. I think it was the 4th apartment's door that I walked in and saw the baby on the bed. The fire was almost at his head. Without doubts, I grabbed the baby and started to run down the hall toward the stairs. At that moment, a man in his mid-30s, I would say, was running toward me and the baby. I saw that something weird was about to happen, because why would he run toward a place which everybody tried to escape from? He was wearing a mask to protect him from the smoke and the fire. He was around 1.75 m tall, short, black hair, average body type. My gut was telling me that it was his fault for all of this. On half of the way toward us, he stopped and started running toward the stairs. Got there 10 seconds before me and slammed the first stair from the above with his foot. Because everything was falling apart, this wasn't a difficult task as he did that. The stairs crumbled down. After this, he ran toward a balcony and jumped from it. I would have done the same thing if I didn't have a baby with me. So that was out. The smoke was getting bigger, so I had to protect myself and the baby. I took my t-shirt off and wrapped the baby face with it and then the top tank to cover my face. Went till the edge of the staircase and looked down. I can actually jump and get to the 1st floor, because as I said before, it wasn't too high. It was the baby I was concerned about. It would have been easier if I was alone, but I got into that building for the baby, right? There was no turning back. No time for much thinking. I grabbed the baby as tight as I could and jumped. I didn't know what to expect once I jumped. As I landed, I felt hard ground and felt safe. In the meantime, I also heard the firefighter sirens as the sound was closer every second. On the way out, there were some burning wooden bars at the door. I somehow hit them with my foot and the exit was clear. I got outside with the baby in my arms. I told the police where that man ran toward. The ambulance was there, so the baby and I were walked toward it. I could barely breathe and the baby was unconscious. The paramedic gave me a mask with clean air and took care about the baby. I did not settle until I saw that the baby had started breathing again. The mother took the baby in the arms, hugged the baby and started crying now from joy that it was alive. She turned to me and said, "Thank you. You are very brave." I just shook my head up and down, because I was told not to speak for about 3 minutes. The firefighters were already up for their task to put up the fire. The police was up for chasing of the man that I described, and it seemed like the tension was at the minimum. Someone from the locals gave me a t-shirt and a jumper to put on, because I was in my sports bra only, embarrassing, but for a good cause. One of the paramedics checked me again and said that my breathing was fine, but I must go to a hospital for further examination. At that moment, Gunn stood in front of me. She replied to the paramedic.
She is in safe hands now, don't worry, and thanks for taking care of her.
We both smiled. Gunn.
So, I see that you want to steal my job?
Well, it wasn't on my to-do list, but here I'm.
You are very brave. You basically entered that building though you knew that you might never come out of there alive.
Yes, I did. I could not think about anything at the time but that little baby who needed help. All of the teams came here way too late. So, yeah.
Thank you in the name of all of us.
She kissed me. On the mouth. In front of everyone, including her colleagues.
Gunn, everyone's watching. Not here. Not in public. I can't do it here.
Shut up and kiss me. You are a hero. You can do whatever you like.
It was almost 1 p.m. I said I must go to the hospital. Gun.
My shift is over. We can go wherever you want. Just let's change and go. Nice jumper though.
Perfect. Do you think that I shall keep it?
You are perfect. No, silly. It's too tight for you. I will buy you a new one.
As you say, boss.
Get in the truck. We are done here. You are coming with us.
If I must admit, I've never been in a fire truck before, so this should be exciting. Can I also drive it one day?
Oh, easy there, hero. Don't go off the limits. Of course not.
And if I kiss you?
Maybe.
Kisses her few times.
All right, you are so stubborn. Don't give that face. That's why I like you.
Oh, God. I guess I should do this more often. Look at the attention she gives me.
From now on, I let nobody touch you. You know why? Because you are mine.
And that, my friend, is how the fire bonded us together. Never in my wildest dreams would I think of this. But here we are. I love her with every atom of my body. Moral of the story: don't chase love, love will find you. The end.